This episode is for the people who are still afraid to show up online and in their businesses, wherever you're showing up, completely vulnerably themselves. The people who are still presenting themselves in any type of way because they assume they need to do so. Hey, I'm Steph Rubio, your go-to for no-nonsense chit-chat on growing a business and life that you actually love. Around here, we're rooted in who we are, even if we're still learning to love her, getting clear on where we want to go, and we're relentless in our pursuit to get there. We get into the nitty-gritty of growth in life and in business, money, identity, boundaries, healing, leadership, parenting, partners, and all the messy bits in between. If you're ready to grow on your own terms, laugh a lot, possibly cry a little, maybe laugh until we cry if we're lucky, then hit subscribe and let's get into it. This is Rooted and Relentless, where strategy meets soul and scaling doesn't mean selling yours. Grab your notepad and hold on to your tits. This one's for you. Listen, can I tell you one thing about business in 2025 and for the foreseeable future, at least in this online space? We are so fortunate to live in a time that people are actually craving real humans on the other side of it, okay? ChatGPT has been out for a couple of years now, and that means it's way too easy for real folks to step in and fake it and create carousels online that say 1, 2, 3 ways to do something because ChatGPT said so. And then you see it everywhere. So we don't know what's real knowledge and what's really working anymore unless we connect to the real human behind it. Let me tell you something. People will not buy from you if they do not trust you. And today, they're going to trust you because they see you, they hear you, they feel like they know you, they see the proof behind what you do. Your personal brand is what's going to carry you through the next few years. Let's break that down for a second, okay? What I mean when I talk about a personal brand, it's you. It's the you behind it. Now, some people you see this show up in that they have a personal Instagram account. I'm not talking about the private one because if it's private, people can't see it, but they have one that's just like themselves. That's their name or something like that. Then they have their business, right? So they get to be themselves and they get to funnel people towards their business that makes sense or vice versa. So you get this personability aspect. You start feeling like you know someone. I took a course several years ago and I followed this person online for a year before I purchased from them. And I saw who they were. I connected with them in the DMs and they were really talking to me. Okay. This person is Sarah Wiles, who's a powerhouse in this space, who's a woman that I greatly look up to. First off, she cussed live. She was the mom and she said fuck. And I was like, oh my God, we could say fuck online. This is so cool. I connected with her. I built trust. We had similarities in our story. So her sharing her story and showing up as herself and deciding not to put all these filters on and present as something she wasn't means that I trusted her to the point I was okay with pushing pay and giving my credit card for 4 figures for over $1,000. When I post something that has nothing to do with my business, I get so much more traction and love because people feel a connection there. I told a story one time about an asshat boyfriend I had, like my first love, if you will, in high school and throughout, that told me at one point I was never going to be anything but white trash and live in a trailer for the rest of my life. A spoiler alert, none of this behind me. And if you're listening and you can't see, it's books and a nice plant, a nice chair, and nice bookshelves in just my home office. It's not the rest of my home. I don't live in a trailer, irregardless, because if you do, that's completely okay. And only asshats think it's not. The point is, when I shared that story and it was kind of a ha-ha, and I don't sit around and think about people who used to shame me, except the way this story came about was because I had my first ever branding photos, like professional branding photos that my husband didn't shoot on my iPhone, which is completely okay too. Truly, I still use them sometimes. I realized, like, when we talked about locations, we did it in my home. And then after I had this full circle moment, like literally the day of, I was like, I just felt so proud of my home and the aesthetics and what I built that I invited a professional photographer here to take photos of me to then share to the world, share on social media with my 1,000 followers, to share with my email list, to share on my website, to share on speaking opportunities now and be on stages. It just brought that back to light for me, like what they said. And I was like, haha, joke's on you. And by the way, I did get a college education in October of 2024. So very recently. So this whole like, you'll never go to college and you'll always be white trash is freaking hilarious. Joke's on you. It's also a reminder to you badasses out there not to let what people say about you dictate you. You need to know you at the end of the day. And that's what matters. There was your sidetrack ADHD moment. The point is, when I shared that a couple months ago, just because it was important to me and I was sharing my branding photos, the amount of women that connected with that and actually took the time to comment and connect with me was off the rails. When I shared that I had a fever blister coming up, not only did tons of people like give me advice on what has helped them, but other women were like, "You're so brave and you're so bold for sharing that," because I feel like I get them all the time and people are like, "Oh my God, what's going on? This is disgusting." And like folks are judging me based on that. And I just don't have the confidence to show up and do that. Do you guys know how long I was picked on for having a deep voice growing up? I have a podcast. I'm literally talking to you on a podcast right now, but people used to mistake me for a man. And as an adolescent, that was very, very problematic and scary to me. I let that stuff hold me back. And if you're doing that, you're letting it hold you back too. Hear this. You need a personal brand. That's what's going to carry you through this online business, this solopreneurship journey that you're on, because the market's going to change and shift. We saw that when AI come out, and the only thing that's going to carry you through all of these market shifts is having a solid foundation that is you, that people connect with. So this is your permission to not only show up as yourself, but be excited that you have the opportunity to do so. 10, 15, 30 years ago, you had to wear a suit and a tie to show up in any sort of business. I worked at a bank in my late teens, early 20s. I couldn't have my nails painted anything other than like a French manicure or clear. We couldn't have bright colors. We couldn't have bright colored hair. I worked at a jewelry store, K Jewelers, where I literally wore like all black and some pink leggings that you could see like this much of from my knee to my blue boots, and I couldn't wear those. Okay. I'm on this podcast with my hat backwards and my hoop earrings and a t-shirt because I can do what I want, and people know that what they want and what they need from me, the knowledge in this brain that can help them grow lives and businesses that they're obsessed with, that's what they're paying for. What I'm saying is you can still give glimpses into your life, and you should get excited that you even have the opportunity to do so, and you don't have to be someone else. I know that there's vulnerability in being yourself, so you still get to choose what parts of your family and your life that you show. You do get to be strategic there, and you should, and you can still protect these vulnerable parts of you, but just know that people are craving real humans and real connection, and that also will convert for you. So just get excited. I will challenge you today to show up wherever you show up the most or you feel most comfortable, if that's social media, a newsletter, in person, and do something today or tell someone a story or something that happened to you or that you did that is just 100% you and a peek behind the curtain. Then see how folks respond and react, because I promise you, your people will find you. And if they don't relate and that's not okay with them, they're not your people. So they weren't going to buy from you anyway. And if they did, you were going to be miserable. So why do we care? Build your personal brand. It's going to be a foundation that carries you through all the market shifts that we're up against right now and that we will be. And get excited that you have the opportunity to do so and grow business and life the way you want. Bye. Well, that's a wrap on this episode of Rooted and Relentless. If it made you laugh, nod along, or grab that cute little notebook of yours and scribble something down, please hit me with the SSR, subscribe, share, and review, as in leave a review. Don't forget to tag me on Instagram at virtually_Steph Rubio and tell me what you're reading this week. Seriously, I live for a good book moment. Thanks for hanging. Bye.